when you want to know fake money, you actually need to know how the true money looks like. Yes, the true note looks like. Today's episode, we will be talking about what mental well-being looks like. What is the good? What is the healthy? How does it look like? What are the signs that your mind, your emotions, and your heart are functioning in a healthy, stable, and life-giving way? Mental well-being does not necessarily mean being happy all the time. What is real is that there are challenges, and that's the reality of the life we are living. And so how can I have a good balance as I walk through what life throws at me? So it's not necessarily about being happy all the time. So being able to express your emotions in a healthy manner without shutting down or exploding. Yes, then your feelings become information, not threats. Your relationships feel safer and lighter. They are a place of being replenished, that when you meet up with the people you love or your loved ones, you feel energized. You feel this is a good space. I want to come back. I want to stay around them. So when you're able to give love and receive love, that's a healthy sign. Hello everyone. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How is your day going today? Are you breathing well? I think I was thinking about it and I was like, we should actually do a breathing technique together. So in through your nose, out through your mouth. Yes, so just relax, breathe. This is a safe space. Welcome to Mind Matters Over Chatter, where we quiet the noise, we silence the chatter and get into talking about what really matters, your mental well-being, my mental well-being. We are walking this journey together towards getting better, getting to know ourselves more, and actually getting to a place of healing. So feel very welcome, feel at home. Yes, my name is Cynthia Thuo. I am a medical psychology student at Moi University. I am a mental wellness advocate and enthusiast. And I think I believe so much in giving people knowledge. They say knowledge is power. Yeah, give people knowledge and raise awareness on mental health, mental well-being, and how we can move from a place of knowing what is wrong to a place of actual healing and better coping. So today's episode, we will be talking about what mental well-being looks like. Where I usually hear people say, when you want to know fake money, you actually need to know how the true money looks like. Yes, the true note looks like. So instead of showing you this is how the fake looks like, the best thing for us to do is actually tell you this is how the real one looks like, so that you will know the specific features that makes it different from the counterfeit. That is what I want us to talk about. So what is this calm and balanced state that I keep mentioning? What is the good? What is the healthy? How does it look like? So that we can move from, okay, this is how things should be. Because most of the time, the conversations that are out there, they're telling you, this is what triggers you. This is what looks bad. When you do this, this is wrong. But they don't tell you what is healthy. What does healthy look like? So that we can be able to, if we are making a goal, if we are actually saying, you want to go to a healthy place, this is how the healthy looks like, and how can I move from where I am to where the healthy is. So I'd like us to talk about that. So what being in a good place looks like, what does mental well-being feel like, what are the signs that your mind, your emotions, and your heart are functioning in a healthy, stable, and life-giving way. Yes, so let's get into it. As I will mention this again, that mental health exists in a continuum, and so there is a middle point. It's not really a middle point, but this is the ground level where things are balanced, and on either sides are extremes. On I would like to say my left side is the extreme of low affect, feeling lethargic, being below what is normal. And then on this other extreme is being elated, being high. So you want to, when we're talking about mental well-being, we are talking about having a good balance, that you are able to walk from either extremes to a place of calm and being in a balanced state. So let's get into it. Mental well-being does not necessarily mean being happy all the time. Yes, one thing we are keen to note is that life has its challenges. It throws us challenges every time. So expecting to be in a place where you've eliminated all these other negative things and being happy is me giving you unrealistic expectations. So what is real is that there are challenges, and that's the reality of the life we are living. And so how can I have a good balance as I walk through what lies throws at me? So it's not necessarily about being happy all the time. It means that your emotions are regulated and they're not chaotic. And so what are the signs that you are emotionally well? You can feel emotions without being overwhelmed by them. You can actually know that I am feeling sad. There's something that has happened that has made me feel sad and low, but it's not overwhelming you, it's not consuming you. So your emotions, you are able to feel them, you are able to feel your emotions, you're able to feel frustrations and disappointment without them overwhelming and consuming you. Then too, you can recover faster from your emotional upsets, that you can actually identify, this is how I feel, this is what is going on in my emotional world, and actually get yourself back to a balanced state. Yes, so you can bring yourself to a balanced state. You can recover faster from your emotional upsets. Then you can name what you feel. You have a name for what you feel. There are times that you feel like, I don't feel like myself. Yes, but emotional well-being and emotional intelligence, which is something we will talk about, is actually having the ability to name, this is sadness, this is disappointment, this is joy. This, you are able to name, give a name, give a label to those emotions. And labels are very important. Labels are very important for us human beings. It's like the first step of knowing what's going on, by giving it a name. So you are able to label those emotions. You do not fear your own emotions. You're not avoiding them. You're not running from them. You're not running away from that sadness. You are actually staying with it, sitting with it. Yeah, you can express yourself without exploding or shutting down. So we've talked about the continuum. So being able to express your emotions in a healthy manner without shutting down or exploding. Yes, then your feelings become information, not threats. Your feelings are supposed to be signals. They're supposed to tell you something isn't right. They give you information, and then with that information, you are able to now navigate how you are going to deal with the things that are surrounding you. Yes. The second aspect of mental well-being is mental clarity, when your mind feels lighter. So the signs that you have mental clarity, that your mind is lighter, is that you have clear thinking, you have improved focus and concentration. When you are able to focus on the work you're doing and actually do it and concentrate till the end, when you notice that you lose concentration more often than should be normal, that you are able to focus, or when you notice that you cannot fully focus on what you're doing, that your mind is roaming, then your mind isn't as clear as you think it is, and it's important for you to find out what is fogging, if I could say fogging, or what is clouding my mind. Yes, you are able to make decisions confidently. You do not have decisional paralysis. And decisional paralysis is basically, you have two things that you need to choose from, but you are unable to choose. So you are able to choose to make a decision and do it confidently. You are not overthinking as such. Less overthinking is another sign. I think this world has made overthinking being a big deal. Overthinking is not healthy. Your mind should think enough. Yes, it should not be so obsessively ruminating and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking in a self-destructive manner. So you should be thinking well enough, or you're not in any of the excess, you're not avoiding thinking about it, or you're also not overthinking any issue that you are encountering. Then you have fewer intrusive thoughts. Those intrusive thoughts, those thoughts that you just ask yourself, and where has that come from? They are not as much. Yes, they are not as much. If I could give an example, especially with the cases of someone thinking about taking their own life, suicide, you will notice that the client or the patient will, or someone is thinking of death, and it's what if I jumped from this place? What if I did this? Those intrusive thoughts. So when they are in excess, then it's not a good thing, and you need to find a way to get yourself to normal. You have better memory. Forgetfulness is another sign of not being very well mentally. So you are able to remember things and recall things well enough. Then you're also able to be present without being mentally scattered. Take, for example, me here speaking. If I was not in a state of clarity, I would speak and roam and think about other things that are disturbing me, that are outside what I'm doing here. So if you're able to be present and be clear, and your mind is not scattered, you are in that meeting, and you are able to follow through without your mind roaming in an unhealthy way, then you have mental clarity. Then, as I have said, your mind is able to rest, and it's not racing. Yes, your mind is not racing, and there are not a thousand ideas in your mind, and a thousand things going on in your mind that need attention. That your mind can actually be clear, that you can be in a place that you sit down, and you don't have so many things buzzing and running through your mind. So that is about mental clarity. Then on another side of another aspect of mental well-being is healthy coping skills, that you're able to handle stress wisely. Yes, you are able to handle the stresses and the stresses of life wisely. And what are the signs? You do not run away from your problems. That is the left side of this continuum, that you are, instead of handling your problems, you're running away from them. So you're not running away from your problems. You ask for help when you need it. I will emphasize throughout this journey that human beings are social beings. We are innately wired to move in community and work in community. I know the modern world has taught us to basically work on our own, that we can only depend on ourselves. That is not coming from a good place, but we are meant to work with others, move in community. So when you are able to ask for help when you need it, then that's a good sign of mental well-being. Yes, that you do not feel like a burden. That people don't feel like they don't want to burden people. The other people on this other side of the continuum feel like they can't rely on people, and that has to do with some trauma somewhere. So you have to be in a place where you can ask for help and accept help. That's a good sign. And then you can calm yourself down, and you can self-soothe. You can actually notice your emotions and bring yourself down. And especially if we can take like the basic example of anger, you feel angered by something, someone has done something and it was not good. You can be able to take a walk and calm down, and then come and face the issue. You have healthier habits. Yes, you are eating well, and you are actually eating scheduled meals. Yes, that is very important, that you have a schedule for how you're eating. You are walking, you're not just sitting down, you are breathing. as I always say, remember to breathe. You are taking breaks when you are working or in whatever you are doing. You're journaling, you're resting, you're praying, because we also say mental well-being encompasses also your spiritual life. So you're connecting with what you believe is higher than just yourself. And your stress response is balanced. Yes, you are not highly reactive or non-reactive at all. You are able to react well enough in a place of grace and a place that can invite conversation. And something important to note is that you cope, you do not collapse. You do not just collapse. You are able to cope with the things that are coming your way. Another aspect of mental well-being is good self-image and self-talk. Yes, how you see yourself, how you perceive yourself. So how do you speak of yourself? And when it becomes healthier, it looks like this. You have confidence without arrogance. Yes, I said the continuum again. You are confident without being too overconfident and arrogant that you can't listen. And you're not on this other side that you are not confident at all and do not believe in your skills. So you are confident without arrogance. You have less self-criticism. Yes, there's an aspect of you correcting yourself, but when it becomes excess, that you put so high standards of yourself and perfectionistic standards, that I need to do this and it has to be this way, and you do not give yourself room to make mistakes, then that's not healthy. So you have less self-criticism, you have more self-compassion. When you don't meet your own expectations, you are able to meet yourself with grace and tell yourself, I did not do right, what would I have done better? And then work towards doing better. Yes, instead of being so harsh on yourself and putting so high expectations, and when you fail to meet them, you punish yourself. Yes, and if this is something I used to do, punishing yourself. I did not do the right thing, so I'm gonna punish myself, and that is not healthy. You should be able to be compassionate with yourself as you are compassionate with other people. You should also be able to feel worthy of love. You should not feel like you're not worthy of love. Yes, you are worthy of love. You should also feel like you're worthy of rest. I have encountered people who are workaholics, student holics, people who just they can't sit down and they feel guilty of sitting down, about sitting down. They can't allow themselves to rest. So you should also feel worthy that you should actually rest, that I'm allowed to rest, I'm allowed to not just work and go out there and be active always. You should also feel worthy of support. Yes, you should feel worthy of receiving support and help. You should be able to accept your imperfections. You're not always going to meet your standards, so you have to feel like I'm not perfect and I'm gonna fail, and that is okay, and I will learn my lessons and strive towards being better, not necessarily the best. And then your relationship with yourself becomes kind. You're not too harsh on yourself. I think this is just the same thing we're saying again. Loving yourself, taking care of yourself. Yes, being in a balanced place where you correct yourself without being too harsh on yourself, and you celebrate your efforts. The people who are unable to actually celebrate their wins. I did this. I woke up in the morning and went for a jog for 10 minutes. It's not much, but it's something. I made a first step towards something. I tried therapy and then I stopped it. But I went actually, but I took the first step. Yeah, so it's all about celebrating not necessarily the big wins in life, but also the small ones, and not just the results, but also the effort. The fact that you put effort towards something. It might not have necessarily come out the way you wanted, but you put effort, you made a step. That's a good thing. Another aspect of mental well-being is stable relationships. Good mental health reflects how you relate with other people. And how does that look like? You communicate your needs with others. You are not in a place where you don't tell people what you need. You actually come out and boldly speak about what you need. You express boundaries without fear. I know installing boundaries is not as easy, but you do it. You work towards doing it without fear. If this feels that this is the place, the bounds which this friendship or relationship reaches and does not cross, you are able to express them and not suppress them, just in the place of wanting someone to be happy and pleasing the other person, that you are able to respect what feels right to you. You handle conflict calmly. You are not highly reactive in an unhealthy way. You are able to express what feels wrong and works towards conflict resolution. You're not also avoiding conflict. Always think about it, a continuum. So if you find yourself, you are one, avoiding conflict at all, and you do not want to argue, you do not want to bring up something that angered you or made you feel bad. And also, on this other side is that you are highly reactive in terms of conflict. So someone did something wrong and then you have an anger outburst. That's not healthy. So you have to bring yourself to a place of handling conflicts calmly. You also attract healthier friendships. You're able to attract friendships that build you, that energize you, not just drain you. That, yes. So if you feel you're in a cycle of friendships that are not they are very draining, that's something to really note. You are not afraid of closeness or abandonment. They are due to the various traumas and various things that people go through in families and in their early childhood. There are people who just fear being close with people. And how do they cope with that? They cope with that by avoiding friendships, by avoiding relations, because they fear abandonment. Maybe if when we talk about attachment styles, we'll talk about how absent caregivers tend to make the children feel that they will be abandoned, and that is something we always carry even in our adulthood. You tend to feel like people will not stay around, so you have to be in a place of not having fear of abandonment or closeness. You can give and receive love. You're able to give love. You're able to love and express that love, and you're also able to receive love, and it doesn't scare you. And most of these things that are negative just come from terrible experiences that people go through. So when you're able to give love and receive love, that's a healthy sign. Your relationships feel safer and lighter. They are a place of being replenished, that when you meet up with the people you love or your loved ones, you feel energized. You feel this is a good space. I want to come back. I want to stay around them more and more rather than just feel drained. Yes. So that's another aspect of mental well-being. Another one is having a sense of meaning and direction, knowing what you want, what you're doing, and where you want it all to lead. Because your connection with your purpose and what makes you happy, and actually getting into doing what makes you happy, yes, it makes you feel like you have a purpose, you have a direction, you know where you are going, and you know what you want from this life. So your connection to your purpose is another important place of mental well-being, because if you're not connected, then you feel like you're not grounded. You feel like you have not found your place in this earth. So even if everything is not perfect, you feel aligned with something. It could be your spiritual values, it could be your purpose in career, in whatever you're doing. Yes. So what are the signs? You wake up with purpose. You wake up feeling like there's something I'm going to do today. There's a reason to live. You feel connected to your values. Another aspect of you being connected with your purpose is your values and your principles. You feel you're connected. You are actually working towards grounding your values. You do not feel like you're bending in an uncomfortable way. You enjoy your daily routines. You enjoy how your day goes. You enjoy what you are doing. You have interest and goals. You feel hopeful about the future. You do not have despair. And that is one of the signs of maybe depression, is you feel despair, you feel hopeless. So when you feel hopeful about the future and the days to come, then that's a good sign. And you feel your life has a sense of direction, even if the path isn't clear. This is not about having it all figured out. It's about knowing that there's a path I'm walking and it's leading somewhere. And as I walk this journey, I am willing to know and find out what it has to unfold for me. Then another aspect of mental well-being is physical peace. Your body reflects your mental well-being. How your body is gonna affect your mental well-being. Yes, and how your mental well-being is gonna manifest in your body. So you sleep better. You are not sleeping less or having trouble sleeping. You have better appetite and better eating habits. Eating habits are very, very important. I think even when I say that, I am talking to myself, because this is something I've been working on since, yes, my early years. So eating habits are very important, and not just eating, but also eating healthy. It's very, very important. So yes, you should make sure you're thinking about it. You're taking care of it. And then you have relaxed muscles. Yes, you could notice that sometimes if you are stressed, you're clenching your fists, or you feel like your muscles are tight. So when you are relaxed, and that's why I say breathe, so that you can take it all out. Yeah, so relaxed muscles, steady energy levels, not elated and not too low, fewer stress related symptoms like headaches, migraines, or even stomach pains. They are actually physical symptoms that could be psychologically related. We call them psychosomatic symptoms, where you have headache, but it's not really medically related. It's coming from your psyche, coming from what is going on in your mind and your mental well-being. So when you have fewer of those stress-related symptoms, you're in a good place. Your body feels safe. You do not feel unsafe. You do not feel like you need to run or go back to your safe place. Your body feels safe in the space that you are in. Another aspect is emotional independence. A sign of mental stability is that your peace is no longer controlled by external factors, that you are able to create what we used to call in high school homeostasis, but that's now in the psychological point of view, that you're able to create inner calm even when things around you are not looking as good. As I have said, and I will always say, that life is not lacking of challenges, and it's not realistic of me to tell you to eliminate all things that would trigger you not to be okay. But when you have that inner freedom, that things may be not going well around me, but I am calm inside, then that's a good sign. So you're not easily thrown by minor issues. Others' opinions don't really define you. You do not use them as a transcript on how you run your life. Another aspect is spiritual grounding. And this one is optional for those who believe in a higher being. Yes. So for many people, mental well-being includes feeling connected to the supreme being. If you are a Christian like I am, that could be God. So feeling connected to your God and connecting and having peace during prayer or acts of worship. You also have confidence in your purpose. You trust rather than fear. You do not have a sense of fear. You have a sense of rest in your spirituality and what you believe in. And your soul feels anchored in what you believe in. That you're not feeling conflicted, because when you are conflicted spiritually, it will definitely affect how your mental well-being is going on. So when you feel grounded in what you believe in, then you are able to have peace and run your life in a peaceful way. And finally, the last aspect is joy. And joy is different from happiness. Happiness is a feeling, just as sadness is. One time you can be happy, another time you're sad. So happiness is a feelings, and one thing we know about feelings is they come and go. And that is why it's important to know not to react from immediately from your emotions, because one time you'll be feeling very happy and another time you'll be very sad. So, and we encourage, I think I always say, never make decisions from your emotions, because they will flit and then you will ask yourself, why did I do that? And it was changing. So joy is deeper than just mood, it's deeper than happiness. Joy is a state. Joy is the ability to have calm even in chaos. Yes, to have calm in chaos, to be confident, to be free, to be able to laugh, to be able to enjoy things even when things are not perfectly going around you. So the signs of being in a state of joy, yes, is you enjoy small things, you laugh more, you are able to be present, you feel free, you not feel chained or burdened by things around you. As much as you're not also ignoring them, you are in awareness of the things that are happening around you, but they are not overwhelming you. And then uh, joy brings makes your life steady. Yes, makes your life gentle and steady, that you're able to walk through life, be gentle and steady, even when all these storms and winds may be arising around you. So, mental well being is not about perfection. It's not about having no problems or no sadness. It's about inner stability, inner peace, inner clarity. And despite the ups and downs of life, you're able to bring yourself to a steady place. And it's a state where you can say, I'm not perfect, one, but I'm grounded. I am growing and I am okay. I am gentle on myself and I am walking that journey. And it's being in a peaceful state. I think if we talk about a perfect place, which we can never be able to fully achieve, is a state of mental well-being. But it's all about those small habits you do that pull you together to being in that state. And if you're working towards this place, celebrate yourself, because healing takes courage, and also know that healing is a journey, it's a process, it's not instantaneous. So when you feel down, you don't beat yourself up, you are able to meet yourself with gentleness and compassion. um, we've talked about what should be. We talked about what is the normal, what is the good. And having established that, we can now be able to know what is outside normal, what is outside what should be. And while sometimes the signs of abnormality can be noticeable, yes, some symptoms can actually be noticeable. There are things that you can actually see and say, this is not normal. There are other times that symptoms can be subtle, very small, and they need us to be very keen to know what is it that you need to check out for when something is not right, when someone is not okay. So we are going to talk about the signs that you are not okay, signs that someone is not okay. And many people are walking around smiling, walking, taking care of others, and looking okay and saying, I'm fine, because most of the time you ask someone, how are you? And they say, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm okay. So, what are the emotional signs that you are not okay? And emotions are actually the first things that people notice. So, what are some of these signs? There is the feeling of intense sadness or long periods of low mood. Yeah, so you feel so low, you have intense sadness. That is very, very noticeable. Irritability or becoming easily frustrated. There is a normal range of frustration. Something as you expected something to go right and it did not. But when by everything, every little thing, by even merely someone breathing around you wrongly makes you frustrated, then that is a sign that tells you something. Then you feel overwhelmed by small tasks. We talked about this. You just want to wake up and get out of bed, but you just can't. You want to wake up and brush your teeth, but you can't. Yes, that's a sign. Emotional numbness, feeling nothing. When you notice that something, maybe in the event of a loss of a loved one, and you feel nothing, you are numb, then that tells you something isn't right. There's sudden mood swings, they change from happy to sad, from up to down very quickly. That isn't healthy. Anxiety, constant worry or panic, the kind that paralyzes you instead of helping you to do things better, the kind of fear that instead of cautioning you to be careful, makes you be paralyzed. That's another telltale of something isn't okay. The feeling of hopelessness or helplessness, feeling stuck and unable to move. Yes, and that is prolonged. It's more than just the instant feeling, but you are unable to get out of it, then that is a sign. Sometimes people say, I don't feel like myself. People say, something doesn't feel right. I don't feel like myself. That is a signal. It's not necessarily a signal of illness. It's just a signal of, it's just a way of your body telling you there's something you need to work on. Then, in terms of your cognitive, your thinking, the signs can look like constant overthinking. Yes, difficulty concentrating, forgetfulness. We talked about memory, talked about negative self-talk. But instead of bringing yourself up, you beat yourself down. There is the racing thoughts and the mind that is cloudy and foggy. Inability to make decisions. We talked about decisional paralysis, where you're supposed to make a decision and move forward, but you're unable to move in that state. From that state, that's a symptom. Feeling checked out, or feeling that you are not present, you are unfocused, or you are feeling confused. That's another way of your body telling you something isn't right. uh, your mind becomes a heavy place instead of your mind being a clear place where you're working things out, you're solving problems. It becomes crowded in there, then that's something. Behavioral signs, these are also the noticeable signs that you can actually notice for someone, for yourself. There is withdrawal. You will tend to notice that you or someone around you might be withdrawing from friends or family. Invite a friend out, they don't want to go, and they used to be, they used to love, going out and having conversations. You are in a meeting, or you're having just casual conversation, and the person around you is not talking, or also not feeling like you want to engage in conversation. uh, and you can't place a finger on it. It's not that something has happened, just out of place. That tells you something. Losing interest in activity you once loved and enjoyed. I think in depression, you can notice that someone used to love drawing or loved doing art, but they no longer do it. That tells you something. Procrastinating everything. Procrastination, that's another very noticeable sign that you keep saying, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. And it's not just from a place of laziness, or it's just that you are stuck, you're unable to just do it. Yes, so that tells you. And we say it's not necessarily about illness, it's just about maybe something your mind is telling you to work through. Changes in sleeping patterns. And we talked about the continuum. On the left is sleeping too little, yes, or sleeping too much. Yes, you are unable to sleep well, you are unable to start sleep or even stay in the state of sleep, or you are also sleeping too much than normal. Then that tells you something. Loss of appetite and emotional eating. There is, on the continuum, one side where you are not eating well or even eating at all, and there is on the other side that you are coping by eating. Yes, and people might call you greedy or gluttonous, but that is a sign that something isn't okay. So you find you're binge eating and that and eating unhealthy things, that tells you something. And then there is increased out of the normal use of substance abuse, that may be alcohol or smoking, in an unhealthy way. These things could be recreational. As a psychologist, I'm supposed to, accept that these things can be recreational. But when they are done in excessive, then that tells that something isn't right. Could be addiction, could be coping mechanism. So when you notice that something isn't okay, there is overworking to avoid emotions. Some people, uh, you know, dive into work and study and activity to avoid the emotions running around them. So that could tell you something isn't right. Avoiding responsibilities. Yes, so you're running away from the things you need to deal with. Restlessness or inability to sit still. You just can't sit still. You are fidgety, moving around in an unhealthy way that is out of the normal. You see, when we talk about anything that is not okay, it's out of what is normal. So inability to rest is another sign. So your habits become your coping mechanism. You're using your habits to cope with the thing that is going on in your psyche. Yes, physical signs can include somatic signs like headaches, stomach problems, muscle tension. I talked about how you will find like you are clenching your fist or your muscles are taut. That tells you something. Chest tightness. You feel like I'm not breathing right, your chest is tight, that's something else. Fatigue or lack of energy, that can be another sign. There's the rapid heartbeat in case of anxiety where your heart is racing. Insomnia, lack of sleep, um, changes in eating habits and changes in weight. Unexplained body pains that you can really not point a medical reason to eat. There's frequent illness due to weakened immunity. Yes, so your body starts to tell you that your mind is not okay. And one thing we should emphasize is your mind will find a way to tell you you are not okay. You cannot be not okay and your mind not tell you. Your mind will find a way to tell you something isn't right. And it could range from a different things and it will go to all extents to tell you something is not right. So your mind will make your body sick. Your mind will make you not eat or eat too much. Your mind will not allow you to sleep because it's saying something isn't right and you need to take care of it. The social signs, these are the things we've been talking about. Relationships begin to shift, people are pulling away, they are feeling misunderstood, they're snapping. You're angry and you snap, you're just having a conversation and you snap, you're struggling to communicate. A friend who used to talk and call and check up is not longer doing that. Feeling drained after interactions, and this doesn't necessarily have to be that the people who you're conversing with are draining. It could actually be that you just don't want to engage in conversations as you used to. That could tell you something. You feel burdened by things, by messages, calls, or emails. So what people do is avoid them. You don't wanna. People are calling you. You're ignoring the calls. Your messages are piling. That could tell you something. And simple social tasks become overwhelming. So you notice that you used to freely engage with people, but now you feel it's tasking to actually engage with people. That tells you that something is not okay. We talked about spirituality, and the spiritual signs could look like feeling distant to the supreme being. We've talked about spirituality being a center of people's well-being, and especially being as Africans and as Kenyans, we can say that spirituality is very important to us and who we are and how we are living our lives. So when you feel distant from the supreme being, you have difficulty in acts of worship like praying. You feel abandoned, or you question your purpose. We talked about purpose being a very important part in mental well-being. You lose interest in spiritual activities. You feel guilty or unworthy. It could be because of sin or wrongdoing. Those kind of things, they really do affect your mental well-being. So if you dichotomize yourself and say, this is my spiritual life, this is my mental life, then you will not be able to go through it all well, because all these things are existing in your one body and you need to take care of all of them. And you just feel your spirit is weary and you feel emotional strain. That tells you something. um uh, what are the signs that you need support, that you actually need to seek help? Red flags could be the feeling like life is too heavy. When you feel like life is too heavy and you start questioning, why am I living, why should I live? That really tells you something. Thinking others would be better off without you. And these are very common signs to depression, which mostly comes with suicidal ideation. So you think others would be better off without you. That tells you something. If you're able to catch it, or if you're conversing with someone and you hear them say, I feel like you guys will have it easier if Mimi Sikwa around, that tells you something. Then you feel unsafe with your own thoughts. You feel like your thoughts are working against you. You have urge to harm yourself. Those are the signs that tell you, please seek help. Talk to someone. Go out and seek help when you feel like you want to harm yourself. And harming yourself can just range from just self-mutilation, where you just harm yourself to release the emotional pain, to physical pain, or it could also go to the extreme of wanting to take your own life. Then those are signs that you should actually seek help. You have uncontrollable panic attacks, that you're always on panic mode and you're having all these panic attacks. You need help. You cannot just go work through that on your own. You need to work it with someone. And then you are unable to function at school, work, or home. You are stuck and you can no longer function at work. So you're missing work or you're missing your deadlines. Unlike you, that tells you that you need to work on something. And it tells you that you urgently need to deal with things. So you need to look for someone you trust, or you can look for a professional. I will always say that your therapist is your paid friend. Is professionally obligated to take care of you and be your friend contractually, so you can actually seek help. And why do people ignore these signs? Why do people say, it's okay, I don't need to take attention to it? One, they don't want to be a bother to anyone. There's those people feel like my problems are a burden to other people. Then another aspect is, people will say, I've survived worse, I have seen harder times. Just because you were able to cope that time does not mean you may be able to cope today. So it's important to just seek help and find people to support you to walk through this phase together. Others say others have it harder. The people who will tell you, you've not even heard what I have gone through. Or you've not heard what someone else went through. And while the testimony of other people overcoming their challenge can be helpful in giving us courage to overcome our own, it is not meant to discount our experience. It's not meant to make us feel like we should just shove away what we're going through and press on because someone overcame. It's supposed to give us courage that we can also work through what we are going through. Another reason why people ignore these signs is the expectation of strength that the society has imposed on us, that I'm supposed to be strong. Remember, it's okay to, and it's human to have these symptoms. And as any illness, we go to the doctor and find treatment. There is treatment, there is healing on the other side. And finally, the last reason why people ignore these signs is they say it's just a phase, it will end. Yes, it might be a phase and it will end, like seasons are in life, but how it ends and how you navigate through it is what is important than just it coming and going. So if you can actually find healing and work through all that, then that's a good thing. Yes, it's a good thing to actually be free and come out on the other side better than distressed. So as I conclude on signs and signs that you're not okay, in my counseling psychology class, I was taught of 4 Ds. 4 Ds that indicate abnormal behavior or something isn't right. The first one is deviance. So there's what the society deems to be normal. Yes. So when someone is deviating from the normal, and in case of what we call crazy people psychosis, someone is undressing themselves in public or doing something that the society sees as wrong, then that is a sign that something is not okay. So number one is deviance. Number two is distress. When these issues start causing significant emotional suffering, whether it's behavior or thoughts. So when they are overwhelming a person in emotionally, then and they cause distress to a person, then that's a sign. That's the second D. Deviance, distress. Causing distress emotionally is a sign that something is not okay. Then 3 is dysfunction, when you are unable to function like you normally would or like you should. Like you're unable to go through your daily activities normally. You can just get out of bed, take a shower, eat normally, work like and be productive as you used to be. Then that tells you that something isn't right. The fourth D is danger. When someone is a danger to themselves or others, they want to harm someone because someone did something wrong to them, or a danger to themselves by wanting to now take their own life, then that is a telltale that something is not right. And the other D that we don't put in the 4 Ds, and I don't know why we don't, is duration. Important thing about mental illness is it takes time. So if these symptoms have been persisting, and as we say, if symptoms persist, seek medical advice. So when the phase is not just phasing, when it's not just ending, make sure you go out and seek help and find out how you can work through healing. Yes. So if you relate to any of these signs, it doesn't mean that you are broken. It first of all means that you are human, and something inside you is calling for attention. Something is asking for compassion. Something is asking for care. And signals are meant to guide us. They're not meant to shame us. They're not meant to make us feel unworthy. They're just meant to indicate things. I will tell you once again that you are not alone. You cannot be alone. If you do not have community, there is always someone out there who is willing to help you and go out of their way to help you get better and walk the journey of healing with you. So thank you for listening to this episode. And if it speaks to you, make sure to share, to comment, to subscribe, and to make sure you get the word out there and help another person be informed as you are. Remember, this is Mind Matters of a Chatter, where we quiet the noise, we silence the chatter, and tune into what matters: your mental well-being, my mental well-being. And as we close, I would remind you to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth.